Welcome everyone to another episode of The Wood from the Trees. I could tell you a lot of stories right now, I'm not. But I'm just after figuring out, me and Louise go back like so far. I thought we were best buddies. But then she tells me she was never up in cameras. And she said that it's the ball's too small and the lads are cunts.
I never once said, I don't know if the lads say that they're cunts. Let's be real.
I'm only messing, I know. I thought you'd go up, you're big into your GA. I thought you'd go up and see how real men play.
Sure, why would I need to go up to them when I do see them in a Moore Park?
That's true.
Do you know, like,
I never thought, you see, I don't go to a Moore Park enough.
Best of the best in Moore Park.
That's
like,
true. That's true.
Know?
What have you been at since I was talking to you last?
Fuck all and loads.
It's mad how it sneaks up on you, isn't it?
Like, it's just been all go there recently. Just with being back to work in the office. I'm back up in Dublin 2 days a week, and then we're still working full time, and then trying to fit in the social media on top of everything else as well, and the bits here and there with going to matches. And there was 4 weekends in a row there. I was in Crow Park. I thought, Jesus Christ, this is what it must be like to be on a winning side, because
you love that though. You love going to
I
matches.
love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's an absolute dream to be able to go with a brand to matches like that, because I'd be sitting at home watching on the TV or
Anyway.
at the match anyway. Like, so it's
And you mind going up talking to people and everyone's in good
no,
form.
sure, I'm an absolute bowsy like that anyway. It's like the first time, it was obviously the first couple of times I went to the matches, I was kind of like just doing updates, and they kind of asked for some feedback on what I thought could improve it. And I was like, to be honest, I think you need to be like talking to the fans, because like you could just go onto Twitter and get score updates and this and that for matches, which is just like any other brand or any other page. I was like, but if you're interacting with the fans, there's a bit of crack, like there's a bit of atmosphere. And as well as that, they gave me like vouchers to give away, so it just creating great like brand reputation as well, because they were absolutely delighted to be getting €25 vouchers, and I was delighted that they were talking to me, and there was some really cute interviews with
You're
kids.
a fan creating content for fans.
Yeah
And keeping them up to date with it all.
and it's great like interacting with people like that, like on the day of a match. There's such hype before they go, because I do them all before the match. Obviously I'd know better now to be going up to people after a match, depending on the outcome, but like everyone's so excited.
Would you be tempted?
I don't know.
Oh, look at you now.
I don't know. Like, I went up to the All-Ireland final there, and I went up as a neutral. I thought I had to be on the day. I had to be.
Were you neutral?
I wasn't. My grandparents from Tralee, so I would have been supporting Kerry on the day. But Sean, my brother, was wearing a Kerry jersey, like, and as we were walking towards Crow Park, the Hogan stand bar was full of Galway fans singing, "Oh, I wish I was on the N7," and like they were like roaring it. So then we came out after the match, and obviously Galway were unlucky on the day, and we were back in the Hogan stand full of Galway fans. Sean in the middle of them with the Kerry jersey starts singing the N17.
He was lucky they weren't too drunk.
All of his friends there were from Galway, so he wasn't too bad. No, he was drunk. I left him in Dublin that night. I collected him the next day. I collected him the next day at 12 o'clock after him going to Coffers.
Was he in a stay?
No, he doesn't get hangovers.
You and him have some constitution for beer. I, with joy, watched your story at Christmas.
Oh, the amount of people that have said to me, like this, I gained so many followers over Christmas because of Sean.
To watch two people, a brother and a sister, progressively start the day so calmly. Everyone's so well dressed. Everything's prim and proper. Everyone's nice. And over the day, the cans pile on the floor and they just get more and more intoxicated until it was just a mess.
It was an absolute mess. And then at the end of it, we were doing like shot roulette, and really like you should be playing the roulette machine. You put it in, it goes in the number, you drink the number, but there was no structure to the game whatsoever. It landed on red, you picked a shot that was on the red one, you downed it.
Yeah.
And it was the same with the black. There was no structure whatsoever.
The only shame was everyone was expecting the next day to be videos of just someone with their head in the toilet puking and sick.
No, we were back at it again the next day. I was like, lads, we just pulled off the biggest resurrection since Jesus Christ. Back in Jeremiah Grant's, and then for our sins we picked up the owl COVIDs.
Did you pick it up then?
Yeah, that was the first time we got it. And then the second time I got it was Paddy's Day.
What is the story with you getting COVID on main drinking holidays?
Oh, I know. Sure, look.
Were you really sick?
Oh, really bad. Like, really bad with them.
I still never understand. I met you on both those days and never got COVID. I still have not got COVID.
I've never got.
Have you not?
And everyone in my house got.
Same.
I thought I was in work yesterday and I watched your story and you had like little infecty bug thing, like an emoji, and I didn't hear the sound because I was in the office. I was like, this bastard has COVID. And then when you rang me today, I was like, does he not have COVID?
Cuddy box.
I had a migraine.
Okay.
And
They're not nice. I get them.
And I hadn't got one in ages, and they make me puke.
Okay.
So when I got it, I was puking. I went to bed, and then I had to get back up, and then I had to go to work again, and then I got sick, and then I was just a mess.
Tell me this: you're a man that drinks an awful lot of coffee. Do you drink a lot of water?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I never see you drinking water.
I stick a bit of lime in it as well.
Do you?
Yeah. I do. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, I never see that on your
Sure, would
stories.
you not look? I'm about 5% body fat. What are you on about?
An absolute athlete.
Athlete. This man, I could kill a buffalo with just my arm. No, sorry, this arm.
Sorry, I seen your arm after your dog. So, I mean, I don't
Would
think
you
you're killing
believe
much.
my own dog did that to me? And I don't have a big dog. I think I broke my finger.
Yeah, for anyone who's or listening to the podcast and not watching,
Blue.
it's there's a Joseph and the Technicolor coat is appearing on David's hand. It's quite bruised.
Do you know what happened?
It's definitely broken.
I'd love to tell people, because I done a story today when I was in the wood saying about, my hand's sore, and everyone's saying, oh, it's
Your
definitely
social hand,
it's-
yeah.
yeah, my social hand.
I saw that story.
Yeah, Vicky wasn't happy about that. It's definitely broken. It's definitely broken. And did you hurt it in the wood? And I'd love to tell everyone that it was something cool like that. But what actually happened is I go up this morning to open the door, to let the dogs out to do their wee-wees. And they took the leg out from under me, and I fell down, grabbed the door handle, bent my finger back. So, would you believe my own dog did that to me?
I broke my middle toe chasing the dog around the kitchen table before. Belted it off the corner of the couch. Broke it.
Vicky broke her toe kicking her brother up his arse.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
I know. I'd
wish I had
love
a story like
I'd love to get a go at it. I feel jealous. But anyway, I always get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back again.
Okay.
For people that don't know you,
Okay.
right? You are Classy Cody from TikTok and Instagram fame. Are you Classy Cody on Instagram as well?
Classy go down everything.
Classy Cody, not on Facebook. That's a personal thing.
It's not personal in that. No, we can't be friends on Facebook. I don't use it. Like,
That's for all people now, isn't it?
oh, I added you on Facebook way back when you didn't accept me.
I never look at it. And
I'll just go fuck myself, David. Thanks
is
so
that
much.
on my page or my personal
no, I'm
page?
following your main page, but I was thinking it's your personal page because I didn't know you had a main.
I never look.
Yeah, no, do you know what? It's grand. I understand. I just go fuck myself.
Look, here we are. Well, we only met when we started doing the Off the Leash podcast.
Yeah, I had seen you a couple of times on TikTok, and then you used to come in and harass me in your lives with just like a random comment, like that you were taking a shit or something.
I had this phase that I went through watching lives on TikTok.
Yeah.
During COVID, they were like the thing.
Yeah.
And I used to sit down in the evening and I'd look forward to turning on lives and doing my orders because there's some crazy ass people on it.
Yeah, true.
And I used to search until I found these religious nuts talking about the Bible and that.
Yeah.
They were so serious about it. And then you see all the fucking Americans and all the weirdest of the weird go on. And then I found someone I could relate to. Someone that doesn't pronounce their TH. and when you hear someone that has the same kind of voice as you go, who's that? Who's this person? And you were just sitting there watching telly, talking shy.
Yeah, I was watching. That's how I started. I was doing the NFL Sundays. I'd be watching the American football on a Sunday and just go live. That was when I had like 1,000 followers. You need 1,000 followers to go live. So I just started going, and I developed a little core group that used to come in with me every Sunday, and we chat about the games. And
Bet you missed that.
I do. I do. Like, I'd still sit down now on Sundays and be bet into the games, but I just don't have time for lives anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, you're from Portlaoise.
I am, for my sins.
Yeah. You from a family of how many?
5.
Name them and their gender, please.
Mom, female, I think.
Pronouns.
Dad, male.
Yeah.
Older brother Robert, male. Myself, female, but some people think I'm male. I don't know. It's a weird thing on TikTok. And then my younger brother, Sean, and he's also male.
Looks like a guy I would like to hang with.
He's a cool guy.
He seems like great crack.
He's a loose cannon, a renegade.
What does he do for a living?
He is studying to be a teacher.
Oh my God, imagine having him as a teacher.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be brilliant?
We were actually out there recently, and I think it was after the Laois match, and we walked into the welcome in, and and loads of young lads were kind of coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Classy Cody, well," and I was kind of like, "Well, how are you? How are you? How are you?" And Sean was like, "That's it, I'm leaving. I taught them last year."
Really? Oh, so he is teaching.
Well, they have teaching practice, like.
That must be fair nerve-wracking. What age kids is he teaching?
First year, they probably did junior cert cycle.
That'd be tough, wouldn't it?
I'd say the first time he went in there, he was kind of a bit apprehensive, but now he's got a firm control of the class. He's well able for it. Like,
how was school for you?
for me, school was grand. I probably wasn't the best academically. Like, primary school, I was very well, as a baby. I was an absolute mental case daredevil. And then I went to school, and I kind of was the same. And then towards the latter of national school, I was bullied quite badly over puppy fat and this and that. So I kind of developed a bit of a complex about how I looked, and went into secondary school then like painfully shy. Like,
Because of that.
oh, completely like retreated. Like I call myself a turtle even now when I'm dealing with things. I like retreat into a shell and I come back out when I'm ready. But I was like inside the shell going into secondary school.
Did you have a big jump? So from primary school, was it a small school to then a huge school?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't huge. It was like a class, but well, we had a class of 32 in primary school, and probably went to something similar in secondary school. Just it was at a larger scale. Like there was like 4 classes per year. Like
It's very intimidating for kids
yeah,
when you think about it.
yeah,
Because if me or you had to go into a room with 30, 40 people you don't know
yeah,
in a bigger area with maybe 500, you would be shitting yourself.
yeah,
And you're doing that as a child.
yeah.
Fucking, I don't know how kids do it.
It is hard work,
nice.
and like I do even find myself now, like if I'm watching like TV shows or movies, and I see like parents bringing their like kids to school, and you know, like they're kind of like getting upset because they're like, I can't protect them in there, and I like start crying. I'm like, oh,
I know.
if only you knew.
It is
like it
that.
is, and I'm like, I even said it to Mum, like, because she's an absolute worrier and she drives me insane at times. But I was like, do you ever stop worrying? She was like, no. I was like, fuck it.
No, I bet you don't. And it's the realization that you love your kids more than, like, I fucking adore my kids.
Yeah.
And the realization that your job is to make sure that they don't just do well without you,
Yeah.
but they thrive without you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my job is to make sure you don't need me.
That they can stand on their own 2 feet.
It's a
like.
horrible feeling.
Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
I dread the
I'm
thoughts.
raring you to not want me.
Yeah, I'm dreading the thoughts of the day that because you lose things as you get older. You constantly lose things. The day that Clark doesn't give me big hugs, because he does still.
Yeah.
But I know the day is going to come fairly soon where he's just going to go, listen, buddy, I'm a fucking man now.
It mightn't, because I still hug my daddy all the time. I'm very close to my
I do
daddy.
too, but I think that
It comes
kiddie,
back.
yeah, I think they have a moment
Yeah.
where they kind of pass off from it,
Yeah.
I think.
I didn't.
Oh, sure, Lily's still Lily, you know. Lily's like,
You
she's
still have time.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
There's still hope. There's still hope.
hope. I have Lily,
Yeah.
yeah. She's
when we
very...
used to get the bus for school, my mom, like my brother turned around to my mom one day and was just like, no, we don't hug anymore, and just left. And I just watched her bawl. She just started crying.
I've literally only ever had one argument with my dad.
Really?
And I remember so well. I was really sick in secondary school, and he had to come in and collect me, and he was working. And I was in the office waiting to be collected. And he walked in and my jaw dropped. He was head to toe in motorcycle leather. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Because all the teachers were like looking him up and down and been like fierce excited by
Did you
him.
say it really loud?
Oh, I waited till I got outside and I was like, don't you ever collect me from school in those letters again. I was disgusted. He was like, but sure, I was working. What do you expect? Like, I'm collecting you. You're sick.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever absolutely lost the head with my dad.
And did he lose it back? Or
No.
did he stay real calm?
Oh, he's pure calm. Like, unless, actually, no, he's not. Sean is the only one that just knows how to wind him up. Just gets right in under the skin. Like, I don't know if you saw my story there recently on Instagram. Sean was upstairs and Dad was doing something in the garden, and Dad was shouting up abuse messing to Sean.
Yeah.
Sean was like, don't make me come down there. And he's like, come on. So Sean came down and got a glass of water and goes, what did you say to me? And Daddy was like, do not throw that at me. Anything like throwing something at Dad or like smacking him or anything like that will just trigger him. Like,
Yeah.
Sean knows this. And Sean goes, you need to cool off, and threw the water right in his face. Dad had a fucking sledgehammer or something and absolutely pummeled it at Sean, and Sean sprinting away. His
Your dad did not get enough credit for that sister sledge joke.
Yeah,
That was fucking
yeah.
brilliant.
He states that he meant to miss. He aimed low. He knew he was going to miss, and that it was the rubber-headed hammer. So he, even if it had got him, it would have been the hard. But the video, like, oh my god!
Have you still got it?
Yeah.
You may send that to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I missed that. What's your earliest childhood memory?
Earliest childhood memory. Probably I was in San Francisco. At 22 months, they brought me to San Francisco. Mad things. I know. I was
22 months.
Yeah.
Nearly 2 years.
Nearly 2 years.
What now? They brought you there for 22 months, or you were 22
I
months
was
old?
22 months old.
And you can remember?
I can remember sitting on a bus, being a little bitch, and eating salt crackers. Salty, do you know, like Ritz crackers?
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the earliest memory I have. I was an absolute nightmare of a child. Like I used to, not much has changed, but I used to look at ice cream and literally start screaming until I got the ice cream, like full on, just going ah.
Oh, so you are Jane.
Yeah. I think that's why I like Jane so much. I'm like, she seems nice, and
What?
you were like, she's a little bitch, and I'm like,
she's so hard.
she's me.
She's such a hard work. She's such hard work.
Oh yeah, but all the good ones are, David.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, look at me.
What's your most memorable family holiday?
The year France were in the World Cup in 1998. Was it 98? 98, wasn't it?
Why is that so memorable?
I just remember just being in France,
in France,
and in the resort, and the whole place erupting, and we were having a crack, and just it being good fun, like good, clean, sober fun for me and Sean for once.
Did you go on a lot of family holidays?
Yeah, we went every year.
Where?
Every year we went to the south of France.
Nice.
Yeah, it was unreal. Every year we used to go with
To the
like
same place?
I can't recall if it was the same place every time. I know in the latter couple of years we had kind of found a niche, and it was Le Baume, which was near Saint-Tropez in South France. So we used to go there quite regularly. We used to go with other families, like there'd be one or two other families that were like their dad would work with dad, so they'd all take their holidays together and go. So
Did you have a good friend network when you were growing up in school and stuff? From secondary school, say?
yeah, I'm still best friends with some of the friends I was best friends with in school. But like I said, I was very quiet in secondary school, and probably a lot of people would have thought I was maybe stuck up a little bit because I was so quiet. I actually had people come up to me after school and like, I thought you were a bitch. Like I thought you were so stuck up, but I was actually just so painfully shy.
Were you good in school, academically?
No.
Did you have to try hard?
I'm very good at projects and stuff like that, but recalling information I can't do at all, which took me an awful long time to realize that that's okay, that people have different learning styles. Like I can sit down and I can do a project and work on it and come out with an A, whereas if I have to go and study something and recall information, I'm like,
But back then, did you know that?
no.
Or did it take you a while?
It took me a long time. I'm still figuring it out. Like.
what were your favourite subjects in school?
Maths and French.
Maths.
Love maths.
God,
Maths was number one, yeah.
I fucking hate maths so much.
I keep telling you, I'll help you with your maths.
I know. What's the most encouraging thing your parents ever told you?
Oh Jesus.
Or the most helpful thing? Or would they've, when you were growing up, did they put pressure on you to do well in school? Or were they very easygoing like that?
No, I mean there was a little bit of pressure, but probably for our own good, because I'd be a bit lax about things at times. It just kind of to create a bit they wanted the best for us, like, but there's no one thing that stands out because I'm fairly blessed with my parents. They're so supportive with everything good and bad I've been through. They've been beside me and supportive and never judged me for any decision I've made or anything I've done. Like, it's just
Stand behind you.
Oh my God, like we constantly even say, like, there's probably on a weekly to bi-weekly basis that we're like, Jesus, we're fierce lucky. Like even me and Sean will be like, we're so lucky.
When you were in school, did you know or have an idea what you wanted to do when you grew up? Like when you were in secondary school and you were in, say, 5th year, 6th year, did you have an idea, oh, I want to do this when I get older?
I was dead set on becoming a vet. probably needed to realise fairly lively that I didn't really have the brains to do that. But I took on all the science subjects, all 3 science subjects, to go and study veterinary in UCD is where I wanted to go. But then I was like, even if I had the brains, the biggest thing for me that put me off that situation was having to put down animals. Not that I mightn't be able to achieve it points wise.
You love animals.
Yeah. They're just, I absolutely am obsessed with them. There's just a comfort with them.
Are you a dog or a cat person?
I'm definitely a dog person, but I love all animals. Like, I spent an awful lot of time with horses growing up. Even I did a lot of horse riding, and Jesus, I don't know. There's just, there's no bullshit with animals unless the animal is a bull. Literally, like, there's no bullshit. But there's no bullshit. There's no expectation. There's no judgment, and they kind of take you for what you are. And I find, like, if you're around animals, it's like, the way some people say they prefer dogs to people.
Yeah.
I think people can really, really drain you, whereas when you're around animals, it's nearly like a recharge, because there's no expectation of you. Like, and it's just.
Had you a favorite pet?
Yes.
Talk to me.
My favorite pet was the dog that was previous to Taz currently.
That's the big,
well,
terrifying looking.
That would be the German Shepherd,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The bear of the house, yeah. But he's a big baby. Sammy was his name. We had him for 15 years. And he was a cross between a sheepdog and a Springer Spaniel. And he had a couple of strokes. And he had...
What does that look like?
Not great. Like, really jittery and kind of twitchy. And
when he was older, or
in his latter years, yeah. And he was so vocal, and like, if I was ever crying, which
what does that mean?
He was very vocalist, and he
He'd
made a lot of noise, and he'd make sounds like as if he was having a conversation with you, like. And like, if I would cry, which I cry quite regularly, he would cry with me. Like, he was an absolute empath. Like, he was there and he went through everything with you. But I remember it was on Christmas Eve. He had a stroke that just was the one that he wasn't going to come back from.
Fuck, not Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and we had to bring him to Naas, which was the only vet that was open on Christmas Eve. It was like a 24-hour clinic or something. He had to be put down on Christmas Eve. It was the worst.
That is
Christmas.
terrible.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
How long ago was that?
Well, Taz is 4, and it took us, I think, 2 years to get around Mammy and Daddy to get another dog. So 6 years ago.
That was probably hard on the family.
Oh my God, it was like literally losing a family member.
Because you all live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still live at home.
No.
Does your brother?
The younger brother is at home at the minute, but he's in college, so like, he's not.
Where's your older brother?
He has a house in Portlaoise.
So you all stayed around home.
Yeah.
Would you like to move away?
Oh, I get on that plane, gone to a different country.
Would you like to live in a different country?
Oh, I've always wanted to. Yeah, I've always had itchy feet. Where to go or what to do, I don't know.
What's your favorite country you've been to? What country sings to you, calls to you? Louise.
I love Croatia. Absolutely love Croatia. But
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, love Croatia. But you see, I haven't been, like, I've been to a lot of like places in Europe. And I've been to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and I've been to, I suppose you could say I've been to Africa. I was in Morocco. And I love the US. I'd love to live in the US for a while. Miami was absolutely insane. Loved Miami. I'd live there, like, 100%.
Oh, I did that. Anyway, I keep digressing.
Why would you hate it?
Oh, I don't like all that. Just the heat and the,
I always feel like I was born in the wrong climate. Like,
yeah, you see, I don't like the heat. If I
winter
could,
here.
I would live in a country where there's about 4 foot of snow all the time, and for recreation, it's snowmobiles and skiing. And no, I can't ski, but I can build the fuck out of a snowman.
Build an igloo.
I built the biggest snowman during the Beast from the East in our stay. Took me all day.
Yeah.
I got frostbite. I kept getting.
You wouldn't be long about getting frostbite.
See him now?
Yeah.
He looks
Talk
sexy.
about a glow up.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Oh, we all had them.
So,
like, I had a glow up.
did you?
Yeah, I had I kind of spoke about my terrible time in secondary school. I think I got my first shift when I was 12, and then between the ages of 12 and 16, not a hope. Like, I literally, like I said, I spoke about having low self-esteem, but I wouldn't even approach.
Yeah, but you're a girl. You're not supposed. The guys are supposed to.
Even
approach.
if I liked someone, I wouldn't even say it. Like, I might say it to the girls, "Oh, he's nice" or whatever, and I kind of would nearly just kind of say it. But I had like a couple of friends are not friends anymore that would just go up to lads and be like, will you shift her, bring him over in front of me, and he would look me up and down and say no.
That's horrible.
And that
I think we all
happened.
had that though.
But that happened a lot. Like,
But that wouldn't be nice for a girl.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It's like I got so used to being turned down, it was just natural.
Yeah. That was like literally every guy at a disco.
Yeah.
It's just, and everybody at discos, that's
Yeah.
the way that worked. But if it was happening down like the town park or something, it's a bit different.
no, I think what was harder was for me is that I didn't want to be in that situation. I was kind of forced
You were
into
forced
it,
into
and then
it.
so it was like forced rejection that I didn't want. Like, do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's
But
different,
different if it was
ask.
me braving it and putting on a face and being like, hey, will you shift me? No. Okay, I'll just go fuck myself. But it was just like, it was others bringing them up to me. Like, it's a kind of funny story, but it was
It's not funny back then though.
No, it wasn't.
Because
like, and it
you
didn't-
go home
it
tonight and you think
literally-
about you put on the music and you went home.
No, it was more so I just fed into the low image I had of myself. Like,
Did you like music when you were younger? What
Oh.
music were you into?
oh, I love music. Love music. Love music. My parents are big into music, so I would listen to everything that they listened to between Pink Floyd and Bruce Springsteen and Fleetwood Mac, and then
What was the first band that you went, this is me, this calls to me?
the first band that
Band.
calls to me.
Whatever. What did you
I got-
like?
I was obsessed with like Tupac and
Tupac.
hip hop. Oh my god. Yeah.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You were gonna say it.
was a
You
hard syllable in
motherfucker,
my
you were
mind,
gonna say
I
it.
wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna say two of America's most wanted. Is what I was gonna say. God damn. Hold me at a higher fucking degree, will you?
When you're in school and you want to be a vet and then you realise, damn, I'm too stupid to be a vet. What did you do then? You were filling out your CAOs or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, I ended up going to UCD and doing science.
Did you want to do science?
No.
was-
I honestly I feel bad for kids that age that have to make decisions that like of what they have to do for the rest of their life, because I still don't know what I want to do, like, you know. And at that time I kind of I liked science. I wasn't particularly good at all of it. I loved maths. Went to college doing science basically because all my friends were in college, and I wasn't even in the same college as all my friends, and I was going into a classroom full of 600 and 700 people, not sitting beside the same people every day. Again, didn't have great self-esteem, so I didn't.
Even then?
Yeah. Yeah. So I had very bad anxiety, and I suffered with that really badly. And it was when I came to drop out of UCD that I kind of all came to a head.
Why did you drop it? When did you realise, oh God, this is just not happening for me?
I went through a breakup of a relationship, and I kind of realised how unhappy he was in the same college, and I was kind of sticking around because he was there. And then it kind of all came to a head that I was like, what am I doing? I'm really not enjoying it here. I'm not happy here. I don't know what I want to do. And I started having an awful lot of panic attacks, and just went through a
How did they manifest?
I suppose just through repressing everything I was feeling. Like, I can't really answer that like 100%, but just through everything I was going through, and just ended up coming to mum and dad and saying, I'm not happy. I need to go talk to someone as well, and I don't want to be in college at the minute. I don't want to what I want to do. I want to take a year out. I want to go suss out what's right for me, maybe work for a bit and make a decision when I'm in a better headspace. So I went to like anxiety classes and worked
What
on
age were you?
19. Yeah, 19. Yeah. So I spent the guts of 2 years working on myself and getting myself right. Because like I said, I was a shell of a human being. I had no confidence. I was painfully shy. I couldn't even order food in a restaurant. Like, I couldn't even ask for a shoe size in a shop. Like, that's how bad it was. It's very hard to believe now, but like, I did some amount of work on myself to get myself right. And I had done an elective in psychology in UCD, because they make you do electives, like, just to do something different for extra credits. And I really liked it. And I suppose through going to talk to someone and going through everything I went through, I thought if I did psychology, I could be of help to someone else. So that's how I ended up down the route of going and studying psychology.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And can you remember when you were going through all that, is it one of those things that it doesn't matter how good of friends you have or how good your family are, you have to talk to someone outside your whole life? Or does it help? Did it help more talking to your family?
I have to say, like I said, my family were so good. Like, I came to them with my problems and they stood by me 100%. And they were so supportive, and they kind of kept me accountable, going to the person that I was going to and making sure I was getting the help. But it definitely, there comes a point where you just need someone that's completely unbiased. Do you know, that like, you'll have friends that'll be like, oh, are you still on about this? Like, get over it. Like, come on, move on. And like, even like, I can't say at any point I ever felt like my family were like that. They were always great. They're all like, if I couldn't sleep, they'd stay up and listen to me talk. Like, but when it came down to it, like, just talking to someone who doesn't know you, who can just even listen to everything you say with no judgment, and even repeat it back to you to hear what you've said, can just bring about a whole different kind of realization. Because sometimes you'd be kind of walking on eggshells about what you'd say around your family, because you'd kind of think, geez, if I tell them I'm thinking this, they're going to worry so much. Do you know?
Yeah.
But if you go and you talk to someone, it's just, there's no boundaries, like, and like, it's honestly the best thing I ever did, and I recommend it to everyone. And the one thing I do say to people is kind of like, the way I look at it is, you can't be friends with everyone. Do you know? Like, you can't be friends with everyone, and you pick your friends, and they filter out as you go along, and the ones that suit. You're not going to like everyone. It's the same thing if you go and talk to someone. Like, you could go and talk to someone and get absolutely nothing out of it because you can't build that relationship with them because they don't fit. And that's the one thing I would say to people, that if they are going doing something like that, that if it doesn't feel right, just go to someone else. Do you know, don't chalk that down as oh, what's this shit, like this is not going to do anything for me, because it definitely is worth going and finding the right fit for you, because there's loads of different therapies, different personalities that are going to fit better with you. There's so many different therapies. Like,
were you lucky enough to find someone straight away?
Yeah.
Or did you go to a few?
Well, I kind of dealt with one when I was doing the anxiety classes, but then when I went twice, and I went to so it was kind of like a psychiatric, I would say a psychiatric nurse that was working in a facility doing the anxiety classes. I don't think she was even a psychologist. But the second time I went, it was a psychologist, and she was brilliant. Unreal. But like, I refused like medication or anything like that. So really sorted myself out, the root of the problem, and grew to who I am now.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for people to hear.
Yeah.
Because people say that I'm trying to push, like, I had a few people message me a few times saying I'm trying to push a narrative of not going to college. I mean, that's absolutely not what I'm doing.
No.
But what I'm doing is, the only narrative you hear is college. And I think it's quite dangerous to shove children on a track that they really don't know what they're doing. They don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And they just keep going because they don't want to let people down. And it's like, when you hear people like you, because there's probably loads of girls and lads out there that are in the exact same position as you, but instead of having the fortitude to say, right, this is all going to be shit, and I have to explain this to a lot of people, and even make myself understand, but they won't do it. It seems like too hard a job.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's important that people hear that.
Yeah, but even like that, like, I find like a lot of people wouldn't really, like, my very close circle would know that about me, but a lot of people wouldn't know that about me whatsoever. They would probably have an image of what I am, and like, even like the periods of when I was quiet, would be like, jeez, she's so stuck up, or even like the stuff I'm doing now, oh jeez, she loves herself. And like, there's so much work that went into getting me where I am now, even just personality wise, just being able to, like anything, like if you're a journalist or if you were a musician or anything like that, you are putting out creative content. You're going to get positive and negative backlash, but you have the balls to put something out and do something different.
Yeah.
And people are so begrudging at that. Like,
People are begrudging.
Oh, I was out recently, and I was waiting until I was on the podcast to tell you this, because it just sums up Irish people. Someone came up to me and said, oh, you're the one that's on podcast with Dave Cuddy on Off Leash, blah, blah, blah. really like David Cuddy. A lot of lads don't like him anymore because he's gotten too famous. I was like, excuse me? Because he's gotten too famous. Yeah, he's too famous now. It's like, all right, because it's not cool because he's actually successful now. It's not cool to like him.
But that's how it goes.
That's shocking. Like.
But people drift in and out, and people do that. And you can't control or mind the good opinion of other people. All you can do as a person is focus on you and go forward. Because I'm barely able to survive for what I'm doing now without worrying about the opinion of a million other people.
Yeah, but I have to say that's the one advice that I took from you. You said to me, what was it you said? You said, don't take in the good comments.
No, don't take in anything.
Don't take in anything, because it gives you a false sense of security that when you get the bad, that it just completely knocks you.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a total different mindset that I've tackled my social media with now.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
The only people I worry about the opinion of is my family.
Yeah, the people closest to you, the people who their opinions matter. Like, it's not people that you have never met before, that you're never going to meet before. Like,
yeah, and all I can do is, because I interact with a lot of people, and when you interact with a lot of people and people listen to me on the phone, the phone's a snapshot. The phone's not me. You know, it's a small little slice of me. Because if you were to watch my videos from when I started, fuck me, I'd be gone. Like, gone.
Somebody's gonna go back and find them now.
I was watching some of your really old YouTubes.
It was
very funny.
like, I mean, no, it was. I'd be fucking. They just wouldn't fly at all. I can be myself here, but when I talk to people, I try and be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I try my best to be honest with everyone, and to be genuine, because it's shit show out there.
You're nothing like what I expected you were going to be. At all.
The first time you met me coming into the podcast room over there, what, do you think I was going to be a dick?
No, I didn't. I didn't know you weren't what I expected. I didn't have an idea. I'm fairly good like that. I'd kind of just wait until I meet you. But I don't know. I thought you were just going to be feral or something.
What does that mean?
Wild.
Oh.
Which are.
Like, yeah, I did. I thought you were a dick.
But
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, fuck you, ma.
No, that's interesting now. Really?
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah.
What did I do?
You didn't do anything personally to me. You were just a whirlwind in human form, like.
Yes.
And
that was what I liked about you, though.
but no, the thing was, I remember sitting there going like, "Geez, I don't think this man has spoke to me since he came into the room." And
then you kind of developed it in your head.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I get it, because I'm the one behind the laptop here. Nobody gives a fuck really, or whatever." And I was my own complete. My own head. Like, look where we are now, but fucking. Then after like one episode, I was like, "This man is one of the most intelligent people I've ever spoken
what blindsided
to."
me. Was the level of intellect. I thought you were a stupid bastard, to be honest.
And you know, here's a funny thing, right? My whole life I thought I was a stupid bastard.
Well, I know, like, this, which is insane, because you're so.
Because I was.
You did an awful lot of work
no,
on yourself,
because
myself.
No, I was a tick.
Yeah.
I had no self-esteem. Like the same as yourself. Funny, if you see a picture of me, call me Rathead. Rathead.
I don't think I was given a nickname. Not that I was aware of.
Like, I had teeth, like buck teeth. I could eat an apple out through a letterbox. It was bad.
You grew into them.
And like, I was just goofy looking.
I had very bad teeth as well.
And I didn't hurl, and I didn't play sport. And if you're from Cameras and you don't play sport, and same thing. Did you
get a hard time for your brothers for not playing sport?
They were disappointed because they were also sporty. Yeah. But they didn't understand the reasons why.
Yeah.
I used to say, no, I just don't like it. But really, I was just afraid of the lads.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go. I just didn't want to go. I'm not going to leave school at 3 o'clock on a Friday and get pissed on by 3 lads at a fucking pump and go home smelling of fucking urine from 3 different humans and then get changed and head down to training with them.
Your brothers are fucking gas. I love when you put up videos of them. It's so funny. Greg has absolutely no time for you. No.
Well, I loved lads.
Sorry, did 3 lads actually piss on you?
Yeah, I didn't know it at the time. It's when I look back.
I just completely looked over that one.
Yeah. When I look back now, I was bullied. Like, that I thought it was just, God, that was a horrible day.
Soft day, thank God.
Oh, thank God, I'm home. Now, let's go watch Spider-Man.
Oh, champagne showers.
They literally held me down, gave me a couple of kicks and pissed on me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I feel like in that situation I wouldn't be able to go.
I had to go. No, I didn't piss on myself.
No,
like.
I know. I mean, if I was the person pissing on you, I'd be like, shit, it's not coming.
And do you know, when I see them guys now, they're actually fierce, nice lads. It's not just kids are cruel.
Yeah. They are, and then they grow into teenagers, and they're also cruel as teenagers, you know.
Yeah, and hey,
sometimes they don't break the mold. Like,
look at some of your DMs; they're cruel people everywhere.
Oh my god! Like, I actually at one point I got one on the day of the All Ireland. There was a guy in my message requests, and he was having a full blown conversation with himself. I hadn't seen it. Full on introduced himself, told me where he worked. He had his own business in Lucan. Went on, was saying how enough about me, I'm here to get to know you, this and that, like really licking my hole. Then saw that I was doing the work with Sports Direct for the Kerry match and turned on me because obviously I was there for Kerry and he's clearly a Galway man, and tore me a new one and then dragged Sean into it as well. I was like, and tell your what do you say, something like your cunt of a brother to get his own jerseys, because obviously was looking very closely at the fact that I'd been wearing the same jersey at the previous match. Yeah. Which is weird enough in itself. But obviously wasn't watching close enough to understand where the connection from Kerry came from. But I showed Sean, and Sean straight away goes, post it. Post it. As in post screenshot and post it on your story. I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm not about that. He goes, no, look, just to show people the stuff you get, but also whatever about him, if he was new, he dragged me into it, post it. So I posted it. And the amount of people that were like, oh my God. But that's it, like, as in, I do say it to some of my friends, like, I do try and get back to everyone that messaged me. But sometimes you just need to be in the right headspace to go into the message requests, because there are some nasty people out there. And I thought women were bad because I'm kind of, any of my experience of nasty people has been women, but since social media, men are so much worse.
In physically or...
No, nobody had ever said anything to me physically, like in person. Never. Like, it's just online. And do you know what? Whatever about the TikTok, TikTok people can hide behind fake profiles, but these are legit people.
I know. That's what's scary about that.
Especially your man. Like, give me basically his details, his full name, and he owns a roofing company. I can find you fairly easily if you own your own company. Like,
was it late at night?
No, it was in the middle of the day. It was after the match, like.
Yeah, it is funny. It is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I done a few. My wife's mother and father, like, or not her father, but her mother's from England, and Vicky's a Protestant. Right? You probably don't know that.
No,
right?
I'm well aware. But I'm not sure if you mentioned it before, to be honest.
The only people that have threatened death on me are men. Like, literally.
Really?
Oh, there's a couple of orange men not very happy with me.
Yeah.
There's a couple. Like, I was warned not to go up to the north on my holidays.
What?
Yeah. When I went up to the north, you want to be careful there. I hope there's fire retardant paint on them walls and all this sort of shit.
Because you're married to a person?
Because of shit you say.
I say stuff.
Oh, okay.
But everything I say is a joke.
Yeah.
But like I said to you before, right? Never, because people aren't like that in real life.
No.
People get excited and they're angry and they want to lash out at someone, and you happen to be there, and they look at you, you're shy, their life is shit, and they look at you and they think, oh, look at this one, I'm gonna knock him down a peg.
Yeah, but that's it. But like, that's what social media is. It's like, it's basically your highlight reel, your best bits, you know, your best clips.
Yeah.
And people look at that and think, oh, you're so perfect, let me fucking shit on that. And you're like, I'm obviously not going to post I'm me crying, which is, like I said, very regularly.
But the person saying that as well, they're not posting their shit moments on their social media either. Like,
but that's why I think podcasts are important.
Yeah.
Because you can be you, and you have long form conversation where you can just like, it's just a conversation.
Yeah. And
you can be vulnerable, and you can be yourself, and you can talk about the things that seemingly we're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
I think that's more real life.
Yeah.
But
like, even though they're talking about being vulnerable, I noticed as I was talking, like, I'm well able to talk about everything that my entire life, everything I've been through. I just noticed this little quiver in my voice, and I was like, my voice is making me sound like I might cry, and I'm not going to cry. Not today.
Well, I think it shows someone having more strength of character when they can actually be themselves. And when you you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And when you put yourself out there in the manner you do, so you put yourself out there in a way, you're trying to sell you.
Yeah.
But you're not selling a fake you.
No, I'm selling literally me. So if there's anything, it's an attack on me, like.
Yeah. So and that's hurtful because you're not there selling your feet on OnlyFans or doing any weird shit like that.
I could do with the money.
But that's the thing, and it's very difficult for young men and young women now that are like, if you watch your feed now, it's kind of all getting the same. Yeah. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It's the fitness thing, and it's this fake life that doesn't exist.
See,
it doesn't exist.
The fitness thing is me as well. Like I'm in the gym like most days. I need that for my mental health. I need that, like, not even just to look well. I need that. But like, there's only so much of that I can post because I'm not professional as well. But like,
no, but you could be. All you have to do is say, I'm a professional.
Here's the video.
That's the problem I have.
Yeah.
You do it for you.
Yeah.
Whereas some people say, oh, look, I've 10,000 followers. Guess what? How about I get you fit?
Yeah.
I'll get your life in order.
Yeah. There was a point there, like, I'm not like, I'm terrible with fashion and stuff like that. So I
you never look rotten.
Oh, thanks so much. That might be the nice thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, you never look rotten.
I'll take that. I would see literally non-stop these hauls of people buying stuff and trying them on, and literally everything looking perfect. And they're like, Zara. And I was like, fuck this. So I bought a load of stuff on Shein, as we spoke about earlier, the website in China, for holidays. Bought loads of stuff, and literally I'd say about 3 things out of about 50 things fit. So I did a try on of it going terribly wrong, like, as in, try to be a bit more real about it. I was like, I see so many of these videos and it's perfect, and I was like, do you know what, nobody posts the videos of the stuff that doesn't fit. Do you know? And the meltdowns you have when stuff doesn't fit, like, I live literally 24/7 in activewear. So I have a nervous breakdown every time I try on something and it doesn't fit, because I'm wearing leggings all the time that literally groove around my body. They're made to fit you perfectly. So when something doesn't fit, I have a meltdown.
Do you find, because you have social media, do you find there's an awful lot more pressure on you to, when you go out, to look a certain way?
More so, I'm like, oh, I can't wear that again. Do you know that kind of way? Because I'm like, if there's a photo or something like that, you kind of be relying on going places for content and getting a photo, and if I'm wearing the same dress, then it's like, oh. So I'm not very good at posting content.
Do you know what my niece told me last week?
What?
Blew my mind. If it actually exploded. There was brain matter everywhere. So my niece Cora, shout out to Cora.
Hi, Cora.
She told me that when she buys a dress, only wears one, sells it.
She sells it?
There's some website.
Oh, Depop, yeah.
That's
I just
fucking it.
I'm too lazy to do that. Like,
buys it, sells it, new one. Can't wear it again. What?
No, like, I'd be buying it, being like thinking, oh, when can I wear this again? Like, the same, like, I have these 2 dresses that I've like on rotation for weddings, and I'm like, I can't wear that pink dress again. Can I?
Get a big hat? No difference.
I can't wear a hat. I never wear a hat to a wedding.
Fascinating.
No, it's just too much effort. There's too much.
Would a hat not be easier because you're covering your hair?
No, because
ow! This is way bigger than the last one. I just hit my head with my own hand.
Your own invalid hand.
Yeah, I know. Ow, actually, it's really soft.
Yeah, actually, was it the head or the hand?
You only point out the hand and he starts whinging.
Yeah.
It's like when a child falls and cuts themselves and there's no crying, and then you're like, oh, are you okay? And they're like, that's David.
That is. I think me and you have the same taste in movies.
Yes.
What's your favorite movies?
What's my favorite movies?
Yeah.
Ending with Will Ferrell, to be honest.
Me too. Favorite comedy shows? Series.
Comedy.
I think we're different on this one. You're more American.
I like The Office.
The English one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Oh, I fucking love it. I know every word.
Jesus.
See, I tried to watch I watched the American one first, and then I realised they were nearly word for word the exact same, so I couldn't get into the British one.
See, I'm more of a funny movie watcher when it comes to series. I need something that's going to grip me. Like, I love Breaking Bad, and I love, like, The Wire, and what else?
There's so much now.
Oh, there is so much
Like a series used to come out and everyone used to watch it together. Like you'd go to work the next day and you'd say, "Oh, did you see Breaking Bad last night?"
Oh, I have a show for you to watch. Actually,
What is it?
it's kind of a bit sci-fi, but it's like hard to figure out. It's called Night Sky.
I watched it.
Did
It was
you?
so beautiful.
I haven't finished it yet. I was watching it the other night. I was like, this is a bit of David Cuddy.
That captivated me.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you snap.
See?
Snap, you see?
Same person. We
Yeah,
are literally
yeah.
that's the one thing that surprised me. Like I was kind of bringing it back to what surprised me when I first met you is the more I was around you, I was like, we have the same sense of humor and personality, and I'm like,
See, I'm not an awful cunt.
a lot of people hate him, and I'm like, do they hate me too?
But not. Look, maybe an awful lot of people. But I don't care
Yeah. Oh, you know, dead right.
because I can only do what I can do.
Yeah, I think you're fucking hilarious, and keep it up.
Thanks.
Keeps me laughing.
But that's the issue. Isn't it weird that somebody will hate you for one line that you say where the other 999 lines are absolutely grand? You're saying nice things.
Just
or
something that
whatever.
hits a nerve. Just like, how dare you?
Everyone has that. I remember I killed a fox. Do you
Don't say
remember?
that, I love foxes.
Not when I killed all my son's chickens. Right? I killed all my son's
The
chickens
chickens.
twice. And we had to get rid of this fox. The place was riddled with him. So I put the shout out, any fox murderers out there. And they brought up the gun, shot the fox, and I put a video up of it.
Oh.
And this one sent me this big long message about, I followed you a long time and I thought that you were someone with character and all this sort of bullshit. And I can't believe you killed a poor little defensive fox. And I just put the emoji up. I'm unfollowing. Like, what do you say to someone?
You can't, but you can't please anyone. I don't understand the level of like, especially just what you said about one line that you might say. It's the level of attachment to what you've said. Like, I'll see what you say and it'll go over my head. Like, as in, I'll hear it. I'm like, ha, because it'll be my immediate reaction. But some people are so invested in what you say.
It's not invested in what you say. It's not that. They're not invested in what you say at all. They're only invested in what they think.
Okay.
So you're listening to my conversation. There's no way on God's green earth you agree with everything I say, right? There's no way on God's green earth everyone can agree with everything I say. That's not.
Well, you're a man and you say some things at times. I'm like, I don't think I could say that. But
Yeah, but no one agrees with what everyone says.
Yeah.
I could talk to you for an hour, and there's definitely you could say two things that I would 100% not agree in.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But you tell me.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Counter argument
We're all
rather
not
than
supposed
attack.
to agree with everything.
Doesn't need to be
But
attack.
some people feel they're so important that if you don't have the same values as me, we cannot just not be friends. We are fucking enemies.
But like, it's like if you have like not everyone's going to get on. You have a different opinion. Challenge it. Come at your opinion, but also realize that just because that's your opinion doesn't mean that you're right or you're right. Like you're entitled to different
Everyone
opinions.
has a different perspective. And that's how we used to sort out problems as a society. But now because of social media and it's so snappy and it's so
Volatile.
I disagree. You fucking cunt.
I'll burn you on your car stickers.
But yeah, exactly. But you'll watch and you say nothing when everything's okay with you.
Yeah.
But it's just when you get triggered. So when you're watching it on the way in, you have to be aware there's just someone's triggered.
Yeah.
And I used to think a few years ago, look, people aren't as bad as I think they are. But I'm starting to think people are. There is actually evil people out there.
There is. There's a nastiness to people that I don't like, because I'd be quite naive and I'd try to see the best in people, and I'd always be like, no, they're not a cunt. I'll give them another few chances, and then I'm like, Jesus
They're
Christ.
cunts.
But
Yeah.
like, we openly spoke about like some of the messages you got sent. I think it was at a time with Shane we were talking about it. And that person is saying like one of the most vilest things that they can possibly say. But they're saying it to you because they thought what you said was bad.
Yeah.
Like that, it's such a weird thing.
It's like, how do you justify getting upset over something you've said with aggression and violence and even worse
I
saying
know. But I get offended by stuff.
Yeah.
I'll keep it to myself and I get a life.
Yeah.
Well, I get offended by...
That's how I was raised. Like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like,
Well, it's just my opinion. I get offended by those Chinese boy bands.
K-pop.
I'm highly offended by it.
Why?
Because I don't know what's happening.
If I don't understand it, I'm offended.
It's a language barrier. It's like most countries.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Like, what's happening here?
But it's like, I don't understand Chinese writing. Like,
Exactly. Well, I'm okay with that. Do you know, I don't mind it. It's like, I like some, what do they call it? Ra music.
Ra music, like.
What is that? What is that?
Traditional.
Like
Not a
traditional.
real, no, they're not a real.
No, like they
fucking-
come out to blackened hands and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Trad. Well, like.
Yeah, but there's songs
No,
about.
I like
Ra.
trad music, but you know the. Do you know when you walk in and you see someone that's totally normal and you know they know nothing about Irish history whatsoever,
Okay, yes.
and next thing a certain song comes on, and next thing they want to kill the English.
Yes.
Do you know them guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm there. What's happening here?
What changed in the last?
Yeah,
30
like
seconds?
what's after happening here? I'm a little bit offended by your actions.
Yeah.
Them sort of things offend me, but I keep it to myself. I don't go over to him and go, "Hey, you, I want to know everything that you know about English and Irish history.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let me know
I
what
have the
has
car
caused.
outside.
Yeah, let me know what's caused this reaction. How many English people have harmed you?
Who hurt you?
Yeah. So them little things that annoy me, but I get over them fairly
Yeah.
quick. Louise,
What?
we digress.
By we, you mean you.
Huh? 1 hour. Grant. What do you do for a living? This podcast is going really slow. I'm only here, look.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What do I do for a living? Nothing exciting, really. I work in tax, and that's really all that needs to be said about it, really. Like, do you know?
So, whenever Mr. Roofer...
No, I'm
is
not
fucking-
revenue tax.
You should have told everyone you were revenue.
I ain't saying nothing.
But you know persons.
I
in
don't
revenue.
know persons in revenue.
How did you get into tax?
I fell into it. I'm in the company 5 years now. I started in one team, I moved to another. I was like, oh, there's an opening in tax. Let's try that. Let's see what happens.
What was your
And I'm
first
there.
job?
First ever job.
Yeah, your first
Working
ever.
in Heaton's.
Stacking shelves?
Just say on tills and stuff. Just customer service.
Were you delighted?
I was very quiet and couldn't talk to people, so no, not really.
What did you buy with your first week's wages?
An iPod. iPod. So yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah,
The touchscreen one.
ones. Yeah,
She's so young.
iPod Touch.
I had the first little
they got
clicky one.
engraved as well.
You definitely had an
No
iPod
way.
Z or a
Yeah.
Nano.
And I felt so good because I was like, I bought for this myself, so I like cherished it. Like,
Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's in the drawer at home. Like,
What is your favourite job that you had? You can't say this one.
TikTok.
I honestly, I have to say, it's a hobby, but the social media side of things now is definitely the most enjoyable for me. 100%.
I found out something about you.
Oh God, Jesus
And
Christ.
you never told me. You kept it to yourself.
Oh Jesus.
And I'm not fucking happy about
Oh
it.
no.
Right,
What
and
is
I
it?
can't believe that I'm after watching so many of your TikToks and Instagram and you've never pulled out a goddamn guitar.
Oh, yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because you have fucking picks.
I have 2 picks I am very proficient at the guitar. No, I can't play the guitar at all. That is 2. So that is a band. My brother's best friends. He lived in college. They started a band called Kingfisher.
They have a good
If-
song.
They
I
do.
heard them. You sent it to
Flowers
me.
Fire. It's unreal.
Yeah.
So that is.
I tagged the wrong band.
Yeah, I know. I was there for that. I was like, you spelled it wrong. You're like, there's too many Kingfishers. That is the blue one is Fitz's, which is the bass player. That's his pick from the first gig that I went to in Pharmacia in Limerick, and the second one is Magoo's, which is the banjo player. And I still haven't got one from Eddie, who's the lead singer. So we're looking for the trifecta. They have,
Why would the lead singer need a pick?
because he plays guitar as he sings.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. I mean, without it, he could go raw hand on it, but you might.
He should go raw hand. I think everyone should
He
go
could.
raw
He
hand.
might do. Yeah. So I've been actually helping them. Kind of, it's actually something I put into play because of you, David. When I got my first 10,000 followers, you reached out to me and said, "No cunt ever told me how to do things," or when they all come knocking, this and that, and you kind of offered me some guidance and help. And the lads aren't the best at social media, so I've been giving them a helping hand with their social media. They're releasing a new song on the 9th of September called Eyes Don't Lie, so there'll be a link to pre-save that. They actually have a competition at the
I'll
minute.
get a bit of timber and put them in the background as well, and I'll tag the right band. This too many Kingfishers.
I know, but they dropped the E now, so it's just an R at the end.
Yeah, they should have done that. What's the maddest dream you ever had, Lay?
The maddest dream.
You're laughing, right? I have sat for the last while. See, I have say I've been thinking of having you on for a while.
Yeah.
So every time you come up to me into my head, which is don't think I'm thinking about you all the time now, right?
Christ.
I go, I don't know this, so I'll ask her.
Okay.
So what's the maddest dream you ever had?
Maddest dream ever.
Yeah.
The maddest dream I ever had was that I was on a ship, kind of like a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Like a ferry. And I was in one of the cabins, and this, like, I think it was after I watched like Poseidon or something like that, and this massive like tidal wave came and like turned over the boat, and I was on like the underside cabin, so the water started coming in and I couldn't get out, and that was
Sure, that was not. Are you sure that it's not a movie?
No, Poseidon, I was like a big wave that turned the boat upside down, but this was where I was trapped and drowned.
You drowned in it?
Yeah.
Did you wake up after you died? Or
No.
in the middle of it?
I can't remember.
Drowned would be the worst.
Isn't that a thing that you can't die in your own dreams?
I've had a
That's the way
couple of
it
weird
works.
dreams, and then I had another dream before that. There was a, like, do you know, like the styras in this, like for the series, there was one of those in my bedroom, but the door was just open, and this guy that looked like do you know Jason from Halloween, and that he just kind of kept popping up into the thing, and his mouth just kept making the noise of a chainsaw.
That's fucking horrific. That's a horrible dream.
I was a troubled child. Okay?
That's a horrible dream.
Yeah.
Do you take compliments easy?
I'm better at them now. For a long time, I think, like a typical Irish person, I was
Fuck off.
No, I was kind of like, oh, jeez, yeah. Says you. Yeah, no, I'm after getting an awful lot better at taking them, to be honest.
Can you remember a certain incident that happened to you that made you feel weak?
Weak?
Yeah. Did anything ever happen to you that made you feel weak?
Jesus. Probably too many to mention, to be honest. I just, my entire teenage years, I felt weak. Like, there was no strength there. Like,
say now, in your weeks, when do you feel most vulnerable?
when I'm hungover, or on a Sunday.
Fear.
Sunday fear. Yeah, no, I don't. To be honest, the most vulnerable I feel is probably when I'm throwing myself into a situation that I'm not used to. It's kind of like a default kind of defense mechanism that I have from when I used to be like really painfully shy, or I'm kind of like, oh God, am I going to have social anxiety here now, or am I going to have to just like, I just have to kind of convince myself to jump into it and just roll. And that's probably the biggest thing for me. Like,
what's your favourite sport? You did play rugby, didn't you?
that was my favourite. Yeah.
Did you injure yourself playing rugby?
Yeah, spinal injury.
Bad?
Yeah, I can't play that ever again. Like,
Was it sore?
yeah.
What happened?
I got to be honest, it was probably like multiple hits that I got while playing, but there was one particularly bad.
Were you that rough?
Oh, it's as rough as the men's game. Like, it's as hard hitting. My mom went to one game and she couldn't go to any more. Like, it's as hard hitting. Like, and I was so tall, and I was like kind of a target as well, because I would have been quite a good runner.
Could you jump over everyone?
You could, boy. There's only a certain amount of space you have for jumping as well. Like, you can't jump at people. Like, do you know.
How did you get the love for NFL?
That was basically, so through Sean loves NFL, but I used to, like I said, I love rap music and hip hop. My older brother, gangsta.
Don't say it.
I said gangsta. My older brother used to listen to an awful lot growing up, and I used to be watching the music videos, and they used to always be repping the Raiders merch, and I just grew an obsession from then for the Raiders. And then the older I got, the more understanding I got for the game. And then Sean was supporting the Packers, so we'd watch it every Sunday. So it's just been a big thing for us in the house every year, like, that we watch it on Sundays. And we have a projector, we have the red zone up on the wall, and then we have games on the TV.
Real good setup.
It's really good. We actually were trying to get tickets to go to the Packers game in London, but I was off sick in work and I overslept. And there was no control on the website, so all the bots got them.
Oh, boy.
So they're being sold for like 5 times the amount.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I mean, there's absolutely zero structure here,
No.
David.
I don't do structure.
I can tell. If I could change one thing about myself, I'm too much of a mammy. Do you know?
Would you like to be a mammy?
Oh, I'd absolutely love to be a mammy. But I'm too much of a mammy to everyone. Like, you know, I probably have a streak in me that I care too much for people, and probably would get a little bit taken advantage of because of it. Like, you know, I wouldn't care about being recognized for it, but other people would say to me like, they're taking advantage of you. You need to cough onto yourself. And then that's kind of one thing. I just need to be better at kind of putting myself first. I would never do that. Like,
do you believe in God?
I don't believe in God, but I believe in Jesus.
And we all know which Jesus, the baby Jesus.
Tiny infant baby Jesus.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
No, I have to say, I'd like to believe in a higher power or higher being. I don't think I've done enough research or know enough about each religion to know which one fits me, but I know that Catholicism doesn't
fit you?
No.
Do you, when you're sad, what makes you happy?
Music.
Sad music or happy music?
A bit of both. So I listen to sad and then I'll bring myself out of it with music. Kind of similar to what I would do if I was hungover. I listen to sad music when I wake up and I'd bring myself, like, phase it up. Like, also ice cream.
When was the last time you cried?
An hour before the podcast.
No, actually, I cried this morning.
Yeah, I wasn't far off.
What did you cry over?
A story that I heard about a friend that I was just a little bit dodge, and I would just start crying because, like, I would be quite empathic, so I would feel it. I would put myself in that situation, so I kind of was just unnerved by it and I started crying.
If you had to pick the perfect job for yourself, what would it be?
Part-time social media, full-time mad bastard.
When you done, I'm not buying that. When you done all that stuff in college with psychology and stuff,
yeah.
I think that I always get that vibe off you.
Yeah.
Like, you're easy to talk to.
Yeah.
And you've been there.
Yeah.
Do you ever think of going back and doing it, or?
Yes and no. Like, I do and I don't. I think it's just there's so many areas that I don't know what area I'd want to go into. So, like, originally I spent time wanting to do forensic psychology because I was obsessed, like, probably a little bit overly obsessed with, like, serial killers and what their motives and what makes them tick and this and that. And I was kind of like, oh, I'd love to
Any
do
serial
forensics.
killers gone to Louise Cody? Yeah.
Also, fun fact about serial killers, there's none of the top serial killers were Scorpio.
Really?
Because Scorpios don't get caught.
Oh, fuck.
I'm Scorpio, bitches.
I should have seen that one
Mysterious
coming.
hoes. Yeah, no, so it was forensics, and then I wanted to do sports psychology, but sure, I would have to leave the country to work in that, and even at that, it's so hard. Like, I know girls that went to do in sports psychology down in Limerick, and they're working in lifestyle sports now. There's no jobs. You can't get in. Like.
How would you do in a zombie apocalypse?
Fairly good. I watched like zombie level in Call of Duty is my all-time favorite. I'm ready to absolutely headshot the fuck out of every.
Do you like computer games?
Oh yes, love Call of Duty, specifically the zombie levels.
How many kids would you like?
3.
Females, males.
I just have this feeling in my nuggets that they're going to be males.
How do you know that?
I don't. Just a gut feeling.
We all have to go with our feelings.
Yeah.
What was your favorite fairy tale when you were younger?
Fairy tale.
Yeah.
My life is a fairy tale. Define fairy tale. Like, give me an example of a fairy tale.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Snow
like
White.
Rapunzel.
Oh, like Disney, like.
No. Like, they were actual original.
They were
fairy
actually.
tales by
Remember the
Brothers
fairy
Grimm.
tales? Like, you had the Three Little Pigs. Do you remember them?
Like,
Rapunzel.
Disney made them into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Bambi.
I don't think that was
No. So Rumpelstiltskin.
What?
Oh, for Louise.
Okay.
Do you not know who Rumpelstiltskin is?
Can you give me your favorite and then I'll go?
It's whatever you say. It's that one.
Mine was the Three Billy Goats Cuff.
I don't know that one.
You don't.
Oh.
It's very short. I'll tell you.
Is that the one with the troll under the bridge?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't even tell you.
That's not my favorite one. I don't know what my favorite one is though. I don't think I spent an awful lot of time on fairy tales as a young one.
We were always read fairy tales before we went to bed, and there was one used to scare me, and it was remember the mammy go fucked off to town, and she said, "Don't let me in. There's a wolf knocking around, right? So make sure that you see me paws and stuff." So there was a knock on the door. It was the wolf, and he goes, "Let me in," and they go, "You're not my mammy." So fuck off with yourself. Right? My mammy doesn't sound like that. So he went off and he ate chalk. I don't know why chalk does this, but obviously chalk makes your voice lighter. So he came back and he goes, let me in. And they say, show me your paws. But they were big fucking black paws. Not racist. That was the colour of the wolf.
Like your hand right now.
Yeah, exactly. So the wolf fucked off and got flour and put in his paws. He went back, knocked on the door. Let me in. No, he said, let me in. Put up the paws. Why? They let him in. He ate them all. Yeah, all the fucking goats, right? There was about 7 of them, wasn't there? Yeah. All, except for the little one that hid in the grandfather clock. Right?
Left him alive to tell people.
And then the mammy came home, devastated. All kids, in the belly. Gone. So then they went out for a walk. She just happened to go for a walk with the little...
I mean, that's what you do when you go through a traumatic
with the
event,
little go, all crying over all the dead children. And they see the wolf relaxing, asleep at the side of the lake. Big belly. And they're all devastated. And then they hear for anyone who's listening, that's the belly of the
belly
wolf
of the wolf
moving.
rumbling with kids inside.
And here's where it gets a bit trippy for me. Right? I only realised this when I got older. The mother said, fuck back to the house. There was no bad words in it, right? I'm adding that for drama. The mother said, fuck back to the house, get a scissors and a needle and thread. And she was able to cut the wolf open without him knowing, lift out all the goats. We're listening to this before we went to bed, right? Lift out all the goats, covered in all the fucking stuff, blood, guts, whatever. No anesthesia. I don't know how this ever happened. Then she filled his belly with stones and then sewed him back up. And they all hid behind the ditch and started laughing. Fucking your man woke up, pains in his stomach.
So essentially, he just swallowed the goat's whole. He didn't even chew him.
Never even chewed him.
Jesus, what an animal.
What a wolf. And then he went to get a drink of water and fell in and died.
Oh, because of the stones, the weight. The weight of the stones dragged him to the bottom.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, right? That is a fairy tale.
I had a fairly sheltered childhood, it seems.
I can't believe you don't know that.
Did you ever read the originals? Like most fairy tales were written by the Brothers Grimm.
Yeah,
and they were actually horror stories.
They're really
real horror
horrific
stories.
No,
And
like
that
I had a big book, Winnie the Pooh book.
Yeah.
And it was just harmless, like.
Winnie the Pooh was fairly harmless.
Yeah, that's
Don't trust Tigger.
And yeah, you said this before.
There's something about Tigger.
He's triggered.
Careful now.
He's, a little bit, I'd say he did a bit of fiddling in his day. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good Lord. No, like the only time we got like bedtime stories really was like Christmas Eve, nighttime before Christmas, kind of like everyone asleep in the house. And
do you like Christmas?
Yeah, I love Christmas.
I love Christmas too. Now, look, we're running late. We're going to have to do another one. But if I don't ask a few of these questions, I'll be So I'm going to ask a few questions that people sent in.
Okay, you get those questions and I'm just going to plug Kingfisher again.
You plug Kingfisher.
They have a new song called Eyes Don't Lie coming out on the 9th of September. So you can pre-save it on their page.
That's not the song, by the way.
It actually sounds something similar to that. And they are supporting Hudson Taylor in Cork on the 15th. And Dolan, they're supporting them on the 16th as well of September in Dolan's in Limerick. And then they have their own headliner gig the 24th of September in Pharmacia in Limerick. So get them!
You ready? Quick fire.
Never.
Quick fire. We'll just do a couple of them. Will Louise's brother beat his record of 24 cans this Christmas?
We're looking at it. We're also looking at selling tickets for the day as well.
Is Louise coming to see us in Cannonball?
Am I invited?
I don't know. I just have to get these questions right. Don't interrogate me. Like I'm only asking.
I mean, I'd love to go to Cannonball, but it's not really expensive to go.
Does Louise?
Somebody want to sponsor me?
I think you mean people show up in towns like when the boys are passing through, like. And
oh,
stuff like
that. Yes. What day is that?
Whose farm are you on all the time?
Can't answer that.
It's a secret. When are you starting an OnlyFans?
Never.
Never. Has Off the Leash podcast been cancelled?
I don't think it was cancelled.
We all just stopped showing up.
Due to conflicting schedules, we had to put it on standby.
Bob was out of the country like every second day.
Yeah.
You were doing new stuff. I was
back working in Dublin.
Yeah.
Just priorities life.
Tell Louise she's one of the most genuine women on Instagram.
Oh, stop. Really?
Yeah. is Louise actually 17 foot tall?
Yes. 17 and a half foot tall.
But Louise, thanks a million for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's been, I mean, it was emotional. We finally got going. Matt had a fucking shit show over here with the stuff. I thought this isn't meant to be, but here we are.
We're going to get it done. I'm in the middle of building a new podcast room and it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic. And then we'll have, Matt assures me, right? Matt assures me that it's going to be the best in the world.
If this fails, I am fucked.
It's gonna be world class.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Because I pegged not only money at the last one.
You did what?
And I pegged money at the
Don't
last
say
one.
that.
Yeah.
Why?
Prince William.
Why? What did Prince William do?
You pegged.
We talked about it for fucking 20 minutes on a podcast.
You pegged who?
God. There we go. I thought we could get through one episode without fucking sexual innuendo.
Oh, look,
and there we go. You bring the fucking filth into it. And people think it's me.
We had a good run. I had to do something at the end to very little sign off.
There you go.
To be
Yeah.
fair, the new studio is going to be fucking amazing.
It's going to be amazing. Because I pegged a lot of money at the last one. And it did. I did it again.
Weird
I
children.
fucked a lot of money at the last one.
Oh, man,
and
it's much of it.
It failed with people. So now I have to go out again.
Now he's
Yeah.
got me.
Yeah.
Well,
But
if you need hand anything, you know where I am.
No bother. With psychology stuff.
Yeah. Just for an old chat.
But thanks a million.
Oh,
I'm
thanks for
sorry.
having me.
I'm sorry I didn't get to all the questions and stuff. But
It's grand. I'm just gonna also plug that if you start selling these glasses, I can get a cut out of it.
where'd you get them?
Shein.
So when you were looking at Shein, because I only found out about Shein last week because my daughter is on it now.
Yeah.
Which I'm very uncomfortable with. Can you buy weird stuff on that?
You can buy everything. It has everything.
Yeah, it's
Like you can buy
Alibaba.
sunglasses, you can buy underwear, you can buy a dildo. You can
Alan
buy.
Clark loves it.
Did he buy his dildo on
I
that?
don't know.
Did you see
Can
the
I actually tell you a funny story about Alan Clark before I go?
Yes.
Mad story. Like.
Tell me more.
Right. Not going to paint him in a bad light or anything like that.
Fuck.
So I went
Don't
and
bother.
I went promoting Westport with himself, Kieran and Ali.
Hmm.
And as I was explaining to my parents where I was going, who I was going with, my dad started talking. And he's like, "Oh, I knew a Clark fella from Mayo. He ended up, he was stationed with him up in Donegal somewhere. He married a girl from Derry." And I was like, "I heard Derry." And I was like, "Sorry, what?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I was groomsman for a lad in Mayo, and he married a girl from Derry." I was like, "What was his name?" And told me his name anyway, so I messaged Alan. I was like, "By any chance is your dad called such and such?" And he goes, "Yeah, why?"
Get the fuck out of here.
It's like, "I think my dad was groomsman at your parents' wedding." He's like, "Fuck off."
Really?
Swear to God. Like, guarantee if he went pulling out pictures, he'd be able to pull out
So
a
have
picture
they
of my
met
dad.
each other? Have they rekindled their relationship?
No, not at all.
That was a
Like,
fucking downer.
they,
Not that
but
bombshell.
I haven't seen. The only time I've met Alan was when I was up in Mayo. I haven't seen him since either. Like, so how would he?
I want a certain picture. I have these pictures that I want in my life to make
Okay.
real.
Yes,
And I want a picture of you giving Alan a piggyback.
that's we can absolutely make that happen.
Because it's just, he's such a cute little man.
Oh, I love Alan.
I love Alan too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to say, he's grey old crack.
yeah.
He did try to kill me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He did try to bring me surfing and doing all that stuff, and I'm afraid of water and I'm afraid of dolphins.
But you're not afraid of it that much anymore now.
No, it was. I didn't think it was going to be as hard surfing.
Yeah.
Like getting out there.
When you were trying to
hard.
switch places on the board, I honestly physically thought I was going to get sick laughing.
Oh, it was so hard.
So you were like, "Yeah, fucking cunt every 2 seconds."
But he was portraying that he
At
was
one
so.
point, he just roared, "Yeah, fucking retard!" And I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
We got some views for that.
Yeah, I'd say that.
On that bombshell,
It's been emotional.
Louise, thanks a million for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Grand. And make sure to follow her on all her social media platforms and all that sort of stuff, all that cool stuff.
Get on.
Good luck. Thanks.
Bye.
See you next week.